Greetings, GameCola faithful, and welcome back to more Dragon Warrior 2. As always, I'm James.
I'm Jetty.
I'm Nathaniel.
And I am your not host, yet still podcast commander, Joseph Martin.
Joined by... Wait, no.
Wait, why am I at the end? This is incorrect. This is an incorrect order. I was
Matt,
supposed to be Matt Breslau. What is happening?
I was gonna say, yeah, Matt, you're doing a great Joe impression. That's a great bit you got.
Yep.
Oh, I'm full of them. Don't worry. I'm just hold on. Let me cross out my bit list. Okay, bit number 1, pretend to be Matt Breslau. Bit number 2, say the podcast commander bit. Okay, wow, we're blazing through these.
So, Joe, because you're Matt, you're up to speed on what we've been playing, right?
Oh,
we always start with a recap of last time. Why don't you hit us?
Here, let me. Okay. In this video game, Dragon Warrior, you are the protagonist. You come out of a cave and you're like, I have to save a princess, and so you go to the castle. And the king says, wow, those are some amazing goggles. You look like just the person to save a princess. And in fact, here's a friend for you to save the princess with. His name is Offra. Because he has a mouth. And another word for mouth is orifice. And so he's short for that. They type this all out, including like all the stuttering. It's really funny. And then you find the princess, and she's like, "Hey, I'm like Princess Peach in Super Mario Brothers 2." Which did you know? Actually, Doki Doki Panic. But she actually says that, and everyone's like, "Wow, you know so many gamer facts, princess. Why don't you join our party in this video game that we're in?" And now we're just playing video games together. And I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, and then we got a boat.
Yeah.
The boat was pretty cool.
Yep. I will say,
unrelated to video games. It's just a cool boat.
I'm just glad that we recognize that gamer facts are not the same thing as regular facts. There is a very clear distinction between gamer facts and regular facts.
Right, because gamer facts have to be, there's only 5 of them, first of all. And they have to be repeated incessantly as if no one has ever heard them before.
Yeah. Wow, where are we going?
I don't know. I'm just wandering around.
So wait, how new, let's kill the bit. How new is the boat?
Not very.
We've had it for a few episodes.
Only a few episodes.
Yeah, like mildly new. It's new for this game, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we got the boat. We sailed to the immediate next landmass that we could find, which was the world of the original Dragon Warrior, Alfgard.
Yeah.
Wandered around there for a bit. Then started having fun with portals and got lost a little bit, and then made our way back to the ship and started exploring around again. So now we've explored by ship some of the land masses that have been connected by portal. So we sort of have our little transportation network going, and I feel like we should probably start to poke around beyond the area where we've explored now. We're looking for crests at the moment, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like the Moon Crest and the Sun Crest, I believe. And the Crest of Life, if my notes are correct.
I feel like only one of those things actually has a crest. Like the crescent moon. That's what it's called, isn't it? Can you land the boat anywhere, or does it have to be like a specific tile?
As long as it's not a mountain, you can land anywhere.
Okay. I'm learning all sorts of things about boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there, like, other people on this boat, or is this entire 3-sailed boat being run by 3 people, 1 for each sail, which is definitely how boats work?
Pretty sure it's just the party, because when we got the boat, the dude was like, here, take my boat, and not, here, my crew is at your disposal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
We're pretty good at boats, then. Is that a stat? Is that one of the new stats in this video game?
Yep, you can see right here that, well, it's on a different screen.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you later.
It goes that stat goes to a different school. You wouldn't know them.
Oh, okay. This is Aleph Guard. Okay. Now I've got
You can tell by the
You
music.
can tell from music, yeah.
Yeah. I did listen to. I have not actually listened to any of the earlier episodes of this, even though some of them are extant as of this recording. But I did watch the full Dragon Courier 1 playthrough. I don't know. People who have only listened to this series have not been exposed to Dragon Courier yet, have they? Has James referenced this?
Oh, right, yeah. No, I don't
the
think so. I
term
don't
Dragon
think we've
Courier,
mentioned it.
you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been awfully accepting of it.
Which is uncharacteristic of me, really. Normally I reject your bit.
3 No Blade.
Yeah, 3 No Blade.
Yeah.
3 No Blade is like I'm actually committed to that one. That one's very good.
Yeah.
Dragon Courier is good because I can't ever remember which is the one. There's 2 things I can't remember. Which one is Japan and which one is America, and then which one we're actually playing, and like calling the series, because which one is it, right? Like when we play Final Fantasy IV, we don't call it Final Fantasy II just because that's what the English one was called when it came out.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Sadly.
But in this case,
2.
So I have actually not acknowledged it. I will say that you must be living on the land of Portmantopia, because you're just come up with these constantly, and I don't know how you do it. That being said,
it's gotta be wired a certain way.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm here for it. So this series is called Dragon Warrior, just because we're playing. I think the plan is to play the original sort of trilogy of games. I forget if I've examined this little island here. I don't have any particular plan in mind right now, just while we're talking, just because, just interacting with folks here and having fun is part of the bit. Well, not part of the bit, but rather it's part of the series. It's just what makes it so enjoyable for me.
So James, let me interject here. There are, if I've calculated everything correctly, there are currently 2 points of interest immediately accessible to us that we have not visited yet. So why don't we start with those and see where those take us?
Okay, I think I recall one of them is we. So there was a place we visited, I think, previous episode, which was Osterfair Castle, which there is some kind of thing we can talk with the king about and compete in some sort of event, probably a Coliseum. Which I think will net us the Moon Crest, I think. And the other one, we found the fire monolith that was talked about by one of the NPCs, but I don't think we were able to obtain the Sun Crest from it, or if we have what we need to get that.
Actually make that 3 points of interest. So go directly south from your current location.
Okay.
In the direction that the mountains are pointing.
Yep. And you will discover the Magidrakis. Fortune frowns upon me.
Once we hit land, we're going to go back north a little bit until the land is no longer visible on the screen, just a little past that.
Okay.
And then we're going to go west. And there is a singular point in the ocean that I think we can just access right now. I'm not entirely positive.
Okay, that'll be cool. Also, I going on with my remark earlier, just because I cracked myself up and I am not ashamed about it. Fortune frowns upon thee, for thou hast discovered the random encounter.
I did enjoy that the Magidraki dropped a club.
Yep. I mean, he wasn't using it. Of course he would drop it.
It was in the middle of eating it. It was a turkey one at that.
Oh, you're making me hungry.
Are there regular animals in Dragon Courier? Or
in this one, yes.
Yes.
Not in the previous one.
Dragon Warrior.
Then what
That's
about the
pretty
third
good.
game, Joe? What's that one?
Thorier. What are you?
Thorier? Dragon Thorier.
Warrior.
Or maybe War 3-or.
I think Thorier works better. It rolls
Well,
off
I mean,
the
the
tongue
next
a
one
little
is
better.
Dragon Warrior
Dragon
4.
Warrior.
Dragon
No,
Warrior,
Dragon Warrior
yep.
4.
Which is too bad because we're probably not going to be. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess if we're just still having a lot of fun, I guess there's no reason we couldn't move on to that one.
Yeah, that's going to be like a 2027 kind of thing at this rate.
All right, so keep going south until we hit land, then go back north slightly.
Yeah,
Oh,
so go back
the
north a
land.
little bit just to get that ugly, hideous land out of the way. A little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, good. Now go west. And
I saw you wait a little bit trying to figure out which way west was, James.
Yeah,
Shut up, you! How dare you? That
There it is.
totally. Oh,
there it is. I don't know if we can do
It's
anything
a
with
puddle in the ocean. Medusa Ball. Is that a new one or is that a normal?
that's a new one. Most of the enemies we've
Well-
encountered so far have been new, actually, aside from slimes and Magidrakis. A lot of the enemy designs are new, even if they are
Yeah.
less imaginative than previous.
I like how they're ballas and bulbs. I will say I did figure out a way to remember which one is Dragon Quest and which one is Dragon Warrior,
Mhm.
and it's to remember the Kirby.
We cannot enter at this time.
No.
Okay, so that's a point of interest for later then. Go west. Actually, go a little bit south until this is scrolled off the screen.
Okay.
The Kirby box art, right? Because in America, he's always got to have the
A
angry
little more,
face.
little more.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
yeah, go
in
west.
Japan, he's like smiley. So a quest is a lot less angry than a warrior.
I'm a little surprised
That's the way that I remember it.
I'm a little surprised. Well, see, because Dragon Warrior is to the west.
Yeah,
Follow-
but we
Follow the
litigated
inner
this whole
armpit of
thing
these
on the
islands.
podcast.
Oh,
The Dragon Warrior of the of the near west.
Yeah. Well, it's only near if you ask John Rizzi.
The world is round like a sphere,
Which
James.
I think is what he was trying to. Oh, this is a Hawkman. This isn't a. This is a slightly different variant of that enemy. All right, and we're gonna Inferno.
There's so many enemies. Why do we?
Oh,
we
man.
went from 1 enemy per encounter to 7.
Yep.
Holy
Yeah.
egg custard! 7? As in 7?
Yes, as in 7, the famous number. Everyone's favorite. You pick a random number, 7, all the time.
Yeah, second only to Scythe.
Now, do recall that Illy has the magic item that we can use in lieu of attacking. do a little more damage.
This is a good point.
Yeah, what's our spell situation? Wait, I want to see it. Let me. Don't tell me. I want to look at the spell list and I see if I can guess what each of them do. Some of them I expect to be fairly self-explanatory and perhaps even direct sequels to their Dragon Warrior 1 counterparts.
All right,
But I'm
here
wondering
you go.
if. Oh, here we go. Okay, Fireball. Great, love it.
Which we
Especially
have
because,
we
like-
have the space on screen to type
Yeah, I was gonna
Fireball,
say,
but for
it
some
definitely could
reason we
fit.
call it Fireball.
Weird. Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's a fire attack. Is it? It could even be. Is it just like, basically a hurt spell, but, or does like the fire like mean something elementally speaking?
I don't think the fire means anything elementally
Yeah.
speaking.
So it's just hurt, but now we're hurting with fire specifically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop spell will sometimes stops. I guess stop spell's normal effect is that you lose MP, and it has a random chance to stop the enemy from casting spells.
Hey, hey, that's exactly right.
Heal. Oh wow, we already have heal more. Or
yeah,
sorry, Healmore?
and our
Healmore?
other party member,
Humor.
yeah, heal
It's
more.
it's humor that it has a healing effect. Humor.
He was, yeah, it was my favorite character from The Simpsons.
Humor Simpson.
And
All right,
then
south. So this cave we've actually been to.
oh, interesting. Okay, and I want to show
That's I
Illy.
believe where we found the silver. No, not where we found the silver key. That was in.
Oh,
the
we got more spells.
This is where we found went wandering looking for the prince. I believe very early in the game.
Yeah. So
Sleep,
the first
like-
thing, Joe, I do need to let you know that this is not entirely intuitive. You actually inns don't work in this game. You have to cast the sleep spell in order to be able to rest your party.
I don't know if I.
Sadly, if you're out of MP, you can't recover.
Yep, you can't recover. You're soft locked. You're doomed.
What's an Infernos?
I think you hook it up to your car to get extra boost.
But only if you don't say it explicitly.
I was
Yeah.
gonna try to make some kind of joke about
Yeah,
that.
It took us a bit. We were all we all had the gears spinning on that one.
Yep.
Defense, when there's a wall in front of you, you can get rid of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I'm guessing Infernos, is that just another like hurt spell?
It's a little bit different. It's a multi-targeting fire spell, so it will hit a whole group of enemies of the same type rather than just one single enemy.
Okay, but they have to be the same type?
Correct. It is situational.
So if you have hurt and hurt more, that's hurt lots.
Yeah.
Hurt several.
Hurt many.
And then
Surround.
if you want the full Dolby experience,
Thank you.
Yeah. The Dolby. Yeah, you gotta get Dolby.
I was thinking of a very rotund knight. You summon a very rotund knight, surround.
Surround.
So are these Illy spells?
Yeah,
The
these
original Knight of
are, and
Surround.
also just for clarification, it is Orfeo
Table not
and
included.
Illith. This
it all
window
gets cut
only
off.
it shortens their names to 4 characters.
Wait, so what are the full names?
We have GameCola, Orfeo, and Illith.
It's a he, Orfeo.
Yep. So, and actually,
so it's
Orfeo's the
because
one with the goggles.
There's no. Wow, there was a bit of a delay on that, Jetty, but thank you.
yeah.
So wait,
I
but
was
like,
trying.
is Illith spelled with a Y?
Yes, Illlyth.
Oh, okay. I thought it would be kind of cute if like it was spelled like Illith, but then like when they shortened it to like Illy, as if like that's explicitly like a nickname
Yeah.
that is used for the character
Yeah.
Good point,
like-
actually.
in Canada.
Okay, South.
Assuming any of the, is this one of those RPGs where like you get your party members and then like as soon as they become part of your party, they just cease to exist as human beings and like never speak to you again?
More or less.
Basically.
So far, yeah. Hast thou find the eye
They've
of
been
Malroth?
absorbed. Wow, this guy's got a sweet crib.
Yeah, yes, we have. I'm lying. The Eye of Malroth sees much that is not readily apparent. Use it in the swamp of the hidden valley, and perhaps thou will see a way to Rhone. And I believe Rhone is the city
Wow.
where
All roads lead to.
yes.
Yeah, you got there first.
Yep. I I think that's where Hargon is holed up.
Oh.
I was gonna say, why do you need something that guides you if all roads lead to it?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Listen, we're just not very good adventurers. Orfeo gets lost very easily, as we have established in much earlier episodes. Once thou hast the moon fragment-
fragment, thou may enter the island cave where the Eye of Malroth is kept in darkness.
Okay, so we need the moon fragment.
Yeah.
I'm curious now because you have like.
Why would they put
Yeah.
a back of the room if there wasn't anything there?
Clearly
It's like the
not.
Pokemon trash cans where like all but one trash can has an item in it, and you're like, well, now
Yeah.
I have to check every single
Yeah.
one.
Yup. All right. So that
So-
gives us some stuff. So we need a moon fragment, which is apparently different from the moon crest.
How many
Hmm.
pieces did you guys break the moon into?
I didn't do it. It was Hargon.
Okay, from here, next point of interest, go east until you're just around this little peninsula here, and then south, and keep going south until you see a river cutting through the land.
Okay.
Then we'll go east.
River cutting through the land, then east.
Of all the elements on the periodic table, Hargon is my least favorite.
All right, east.
He's not.
Well, hang on, make sure it's actually a river there and not just a nub.
Oh.
It's a nub.
Yeah,
I think they
I don't
call
know,
those
Joe. I feel like
babies.
it's pretty hard to hate Hargon as an element.
is.
It's
Here we
a
go.
very
So now
it's
go
a
east
very
from
it's
here.
a very noble element.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because there's never been a bad monarch, James. I've never thought about it that way.
I mean, you
Well,
did
evil
live in the
emperor.
UK
Go-
for quite some time, right?
I'm sure there's some evil emperor that we're supposed to be fighting in this video game.
All right,
Or
now
just
what?
Something like
river.
that.
Sneak through this canal so that
So
we don't need to jump off towers to go back and forth. We just cut across.
I do like that you basically could have gone straight from the river on one side to the river on the other. I like to imagine that through the ocean, there's like an internal river in the ocean that goes like from there to there, you know? There's just like a current that flows through the ocean through the two rivers.
That would actually be kind of neat.
Illy's going to need some healing, and then we're going to go south and just follow the coastline for a while until we see an island that's close to the coast.
Okay, south till we reach an island close to the coast. Is that correct?
Yep.
So, who's your favorite party member of this three-person party?
GameCola.
GameCola.
Oh, wow. So it seems that you answered that really fast, and I feel like I may be missing some context.
The context is GameCola is the only one with enough HP and ability to equip equipment to stay
Yeah.
alive for any length of time. That's
was
really
gonna
the
say-
deciding factor.
Yeah,
he has
he
no
is-
other qualities whatsoever.
Yeah, he
I
is
don't
by
think-
far the most survivable party member.
Yeah, I don't think it's us. I don't think it's that he's our favorite. I think it's the developer's favorite because the developers only ever thought about GameCola. Like entire towns worth of equipment that are just like only GameCola can equip this.
So, like, what did they add the other two characters in last minute because, like, a Final
Yeah.
Fantasy had multiple party members, and they're like, "Oh, we should have thought of that."
Actually, did this come before Final Fantasy?
I think it did.
Hmm.
Because I put a
Well,
classic me. I made a chart.
did the second one come out?
Yeah, I
feel
think
like
it might have.
did.
Interesting.
Hold on.
Yeah,
wonder if I
so
can find my chart.
Dragon Quest came out in 1986. I
Mhm.
want to say Dragon Quest 2 is 1987. Oh, poison.
Yep, poison. Jinx.
Am I still doing this right? I'm going, okay.
Yep.
Aha!
Here we are.
The tower. Okay. I don't know how I feel
Let's heal
about
up.
this like the graphics when you're inside these buildings. It just looks weird, these huge blocks.
Yeah, it's not the best. This really feels like something that they just kind of brought directly over from Dragon Warrior 1.
Yeah, because it feels like we wanted the same general vibe of like, oh, it's a maze, everything looks the same, but without the darkness mechanics. So they just took those same tiles and blew them up to double size.
Yeah. I think that's the part that bothers me.
So what we've
about
learned
it.
about these, James, right, is that this is a roof, and so there may be a passage to get in through the roof if we keep poking at every block.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the style here is a
Oh,
lot
Gorgon.
less engaging.
Also, we may be in way over our heads here, but this was
I
at
feel
least
like
an accessible point of interest.
I feel like we've taken mummy men before. I guess we haven't taken multiple mummy men before. Mummy mans.
Yeah.
Mummy Min.
Yeah.
Mummy Mumemo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, so I've been getting back into my NES game development, and I had a thought about how this battle stuff is done because I'm going to, I am currently attempting to develop, an NES style JRPG, and as such, it's like, okay, how do you get the graphics for the enemies when you have multiple enemies? Because you would be limited by the number of palettes, right? Because unless you plan the area explicitly to only use like all enemies in this area are blue, right? Like how do you get the yellow tiger? How do you get the green gorgon? How do you get the white mummies, right? And there's some actually very interesting stuff that goes on here because I think every enemy gets its own palette, but internally they are only using the same palette. That like you don't have multiple palettes between, like a single enemy doesn't have multiple palettes, right? But there's an interesting thing is also keep in mind they are background tiles, which also means that the menus and stuff are background tiles. Therefore, they've made it so that one enemy has to have white as the first color in the palette.
Right, so that the text can be white also.
Oh, thy MP is low.
Never seen that before.
Uh-oh.
Does Orf have the magic or wizard wizzy wig? Does Orf have
I
the
don't
wizzy
think
wig?
he has the WYSIWYG, no.
No.
Double check his inventory. Oh, yeah, no, double check his inventory.
Oh, yeah, no, we might have given him the Thunder Rod, actually. The Staff of Thunder.
Okay. Yeah, that thing. So there was the wizard wand. It let you cast some really weak thing that was weaker than attacking, but it also had really bad attack. We should probably leave.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, but I can't cast outside because Orfeo has no
Oh, no.
MP.
So just find the most efficient route to get back there. And we have enough gold that maybe we should think about what we can buy next.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess the question
we
is
lucked
now,
out.
where is Return going to
Nice.
send us? Or not Return, but Wing of the Wyvern, because that's all we've got.
It is so wild to be hopping in halfway through. Not even halfway through, but this far. Like, I wonder what the spiel of Schmegbob will do in this situation. Well, wait, have you equipped the rod of cone? It lets you see color and light at the same time.
Use the Eye of
Wow.
Malroth.
What a concept. Yeah, we use the Eye of Malroth, and we're... Oh, my goodness. All right, so...
Like the armor of Gaia, the steel shield, the medical herb, the sword of Erdrick, the wing of the wyvern, the helmet of Erdrick, the leaf of the world tree,
And
Yeah.
club.
and club.
And the club. So that we can. Oh, we forgot to lock our boat.
Oh, shoot, we did.
should've used the club.
We don't have the club. Dang it.
Yeah, we forgot to.
Oh,
Somebody
man.
could have stolen
All
our
right,
boat.
I'm gonna Wing of the Wyvern back. It'll probably take us back to...
Well, wait, what about your boat?
It's fine.
It comes with you. Yeah.
That's a big wing.
Yeah, don't ask
There
me
it is.
how that happens. It just does. It's not purported to be a magical boat of any kind. It's just a boat that somehow follows you.
No.
If I could get $45 for a stick, I'd be sitting pretty.
Oh, he doesn't sell.
Well, actually, sorry. Speaking of that, don't we have a the bamboo stick? Somebody got one at some point. Maybe Italy, or did we already sell it?
Oh, does everybody have their own inventory too?
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Isn't
I'm thinking
that-
of something that we already sold.
Isn't that bad? Like, I don't like
It's
that.
not the best. It,
I was playing. If
Wow, we
you
do
listen
have
to
a
the
lot of money.
podcast, you know this. That I was playing Golden Sun,
Mhm.
and everybody has different inventories there too. And like, I feel like the point is so that like you have to think like, oh well, this person can only use the herb on their turn. So like, if you have, if they don't have an herb, then they can't heal. But most of the time, it's like the inventory fills up, and you're just like, okay, who has space? Who has space for a thing? Who has
Mhm.
space for a thing? And it's like, I don't know enough about these items to know if I'm going to need one of these in an upcoming fight. So I'm not just going to sell, right? It's not like weapons, right? Like the weapons, you can sell. But there's so many little trinkets of consumable items, and you're like, well, I don't know how rare this thing is.
Yeah.
So
James,
n-
why
know
don't we
how
go
we're
back to
gonna
the
need it.
Coliseum
yeah, like, and also, in terms of like shops
and
where
also
we can
figure
buy
out what we're buying
items.
next, because we're starting to rack up some money.
Yeah, indeed. I
Yeah.
think we've got about
Before
almost
we-
6,000 gold at this point. So which way to the Colosseum?
And also, how close are we to the end of this episode? Is this a good place to break?
No, this is
I
a
don't
little
think
early.
so.
Okay.
Yeah, we still got like 20 minutes.
So the Coliseum was, I believe, south of us.
How much bigger is the accessible world as of this current
It
game state
feels-
compared to the original?
It feels
So
massive.
the original is, I would say, let me zoom out here. The original is probably like a fifth or a sixth,
That's pretty big.
maybe even a seventh.
That's
Like,
just because
judge-
all of the water tiles are accessible here specifically too.
Yeah. Judging for, and if you're including the water tiles and not just what's visible on the screen, then yeah, it's easily many times larger. Just looking at the little chunk of whatever that is Alefgard in this game, which granted is shrunk down a little bit. It's not as vast and sprawling as the original, but even that is relatively close-ish. That still only makes up like a fifth of the world.
Yeah, I would say that the original game was probably a quarter, like, of what this one is.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
will-
about right.
In total, like, complete tiles. Like, the actual amount of, like, usable space is different than that.
Yeah, if we're talking usable space, like 7 or 8 times smaller, I would wager. But yeah, go south, and then when you get to the end, when you get to the tip down there, just swing around right a little bit, and then keep going south.
Okay.
I wonder how much of that expansion is like programming advancement and how much of it was just hardware advancement. Because like definitely over the course of the life of the NES, like you just were able to put more and more bits into your cartridges. And that was responsible for a decent amount of improvement over time. It's just you got more memory to put stuff in your video game.
Yep.
I think that's part of it, probably. But I would also wager sometimes you don't need to make the biggest possible game. Like, you just make, whatever the hardware limitations might have been at the time, you set out and you say, this is the game I want to make. This is the game world I want to create. And then if you hit a wall and say, oh, there's not enough space, okay, we'll shrink the game world. Or we'll find creative ways to make it fit. But I feel like if this is like one of the first RPGs, we're talking about the original Dragon Warrior here, you're not going to be this vast, sprawling epic. It's, here is a very limited, reasonable vision of what I want to do. And then when you make a sequel like this, you're like, okay, we need to make it bigger. And if we're going to give them a ship, we need to really go all out with, oh, look at all the world you can explore.
How do I
Is
get
the world-
onto land here? All right.
Does the world loop?
It's
By
a
the way?
crescent shape,
Yes,
and you
it
want
does.
to cut in the middle from the west side.
Okay.
And yeah, it does loop.
That's fine.
Side.
I like it when the world loops. And when it's like the whole, and it's like this is the whole world, because then you can do fun stuff like try to figure out how big the planet is, right? Like if you're like, well, if this is like I guess some of it is like what do you use as like your base unit, right? Because like obviously you are not the size of a castle, right?
Yeah.
Like the objects on the screen.
Actually, we don't know that. We could be actual size, and then we shrink down when we get to the towns.
It's a little bit. It's Mario and the Haunted Mansion from Mario 64. It's actually just this tiny little display, but he jumps and he shrinks down to get into it. Oh, speaking of Mario 64, actually, just something fun that happened today is in the mail. I got my controllers for the N64 that my parents got me for my birthday.
Oh.
Which is normally a statement that someone would have said in 1996 or 1997. But, yeah, no, they went to they were passing by a garage sale and they decided to stop. And my sister saw that they had an N64. It didn't have controllers or games for it, but it had the power cable and video cable. So they got it for me because it was pretty cheap. It was like $35, I think.
Wow.
And so the game for it, I ordered Banjo-Kazooie used on eBay. And so that arrived today along with the set of controllers. Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Get the Staff
So-
of Thunder.
All right.
My thought here is they're probably resistant to magic.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I generally,
probably just-
all you do does 1 damage
Well,
to them, so...
Okay, but I would say it's
But
worth trying because it would hit all of them.
yeah, maybe try the Thunder Rod or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, because my thought is mostly about hitting
And just
people.
attack with her.
Because the only thing is I can't guarantee which one I'll hit.
Wait.
Ow, they
chanting
all use
Fireball?
Fireball.
Oh, yikes. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
it
that
did
was-
as
not
expected.
work.
I love this is cycling through like all the letters of
Yeah.
the alphabet.
Man, okay, these are a lot worse now that they use Fireball.
Yeah.
So when there's a set of
Yeah.
enemies, I just realized is you can't pick which one you hit. You just pick a
Yeah.
random one if it's
Yeah.
a single target.
Yep.
I guess that must be some limitation, right? Like they wouldn't have done that on purpose. They must have like felt like they had to do that somehow.
I
no,
think
they
it was done
actually
eventually.
split it into different groups. We've even seen 2 different groups of the same enemy type. So they could do it separately if they wanted to, but it's a matter of how the multi-hit spells work.
Yeah!
Well, you got one. Nice.
Only
Oh, that wasn't
230.
really-
That wasn't even enough for a level up at this point.
That was like a
Ah.
normal battle's worth of
But it felt good.
EXP.
And that's what
Yeah.
matters.
But what you were talking about before, Joe, of limited inventory space, I think it could also be a holdover from tabletop role-playing games like your Dungeons and Dragons, where each party member has their own inventory because they can wander away from the party. They're not like in this game where everybody's just all together all the time and they're never separated after they join up. So it could be a holdover from that of just, oh, of course, you're your own person with your own, well, not bag of holding, otherwise we'd have more space, but,
I
you know,
wish.
with your own bag to schlep stuff around with.
All right. So the other thing, Joe, like the previous series, is that we rotate who speaks for each character. So
I
I,
don't
think,
remember who did.
Jetty, I think you spoke, like
Yeah,
most
Jetty did the
recently.
last
I don't even care if
voiceover.
it's consistent across episodes. I just think we should just rotate. I mean, like different people
Okay.
voice the various kings in the opening cutscene compared to in gameplay. So whatever.
So I need to go take something out of the oven, so you all figure this out.
All right, Joe,
Joe.
read this character.
Okay. Is this the king?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thou art welcome in my castle of Osterfair. If If thou entertain me, thou shalt receive a valuable prize. Dost thou wish to try? Yes, no. Thou must go forth to the center of the Colosseum.
Oh, it's a
Here he
dog.
comes.
Ah. Oh, a saber lion.
I think we're fine. We can take it. Yeah,
If you kill my cat, I will execute you. I said entertain me, not pet murder. I feel like I shouldn't have to clarify. Why did you do that to
Ow.
my cat? Very specifically said, don't murder my pet cat.
We're not murdering. We're just.
Do you?
This
Yeah,
is one of
yeah,
those
yeah.
tests where like the guy is like, you should
What?
do
Oh,
this,
come on.
and
What? Oh, come on. That's upsetting.
wow, you
Oh.
opened
Oh,
the
good. We
chest
can give
even
the
though
Iron
you're
Spear to
dead.
Orfeo. He's dead, but never mind that.
Is this where Earthbound ghosts come from? Like, is that why they're ghosts?
I mean,
Like, is it not obviously maybe not like directly? Like the guy who made Earthbound was like, "Oh, I remember Dragon Warrior 2."
well, so the
He
fun
probably
part,
also didn't think it was Dragon Warrior. He was probably Dragon Quest.
well, because in Dragon Quest, actually, they had caskets that you would drag along.
Okay, so I can't.
Oh, this is a
see-
localization.
Yeah.
The
to
ghost
remove-
is a localization. That's
Yeah.
So you would just have a casket following you around,
Yeah.
and then they were like, "That's
Is it
too
still in
morbid."
GameCola's inventory? Yes.
I don't see the Moon Crest.
Oh,
Hmm?
well, good.
What? Wait, what?
I guess it
no, look
doesn't-
under your status window. It's not an item that burdens us. It should.
Oh,
Yeah, crests.
crest.
We got that.
Oh, thank goodness.
Ooh, the
That's
little
an.
parentheses.
That's a, yeah,
Yeah, which
that's an
has-
automatic improvement over Dragon Warrior 1, where the story
Oh, yeah.
plot items took up
Yeah, it took up
inventory
inventory.
space.
Yeah, and it has its own tile graphic.
Yep. All right. Now I need to recover. That's not it.
That's not the. I know he looks like him, but
On an island, in a tower, in a chamber remote. Hey,
oh
this must be
That's-
referring to that place we were in a bit ago.
yeah. Wait, do we have the thing that whatever it is? What did you say at the
I
beginning?
don't believe we have the echoing flute.
But somebody told us where the echoing flute is. There's a bunch of
Red
people who kept
bed,
telling
red
us.
bed.
Oh yeah, the bed is red.
Yep.
Is that the bed turns red when someone's dead?
Yes.
Yes.
Red bed redemption.
That's very good, Jetty.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for naming the episode for us, Jetty.
Oh man.
I almost don't know if we should name the episode that because it spoils the Jetty's very good joke.
Yeah.
Do we not
I'll
have
leave it
a
up to you,
who's of
James.
healing here?
It doesn't seem
Because this
like
is
there
the shopkeeper who says, "Get out of my
Yeah.
shop."
Oh right.
What
Where
are you
does this
doing in my
go?
shop?
We're close enough to Middenhall. We should just throw a wing in the air and
I
go
don't
back
have
there.
a wing. I'll have to go buy one.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Do they sell them here?
Well,
Wait.
buy two. Why buy
Sure.
one
How
when
do
you
you-
can buy two for twice the price?
How do you not be dead though? Like I know
Well, we need.
hotels don't heal death.
We need to go to a house
Yeah.
of healing.
Is that just
So-
a hospital? Is that just a fantasy word for a hospital? Can't just call it a hospital, guys. Come on.
Well,
Is
It's
there not
kind of like-
Okay, so new plan, because apparently nobody here sells anything that we need, revivals or wings.
yeah.
Rest at the inn, recover the health and MIPS of the people who are still alive.
I feel like we're doing fine actually.
am thinking about purchasing an item and then just beefing it.
Do we want?
Well, we're really close. We're only like 2 or 3 battles away from Middenhall. We can just hop on the
also-
boat and
Okay,
get out.
I guess that's true. But
Also, we
we
don't
won't have
know-
Orfeo to help us in battle.
How any of these compare to Erdrick's sword andErdrick's helmet? Or
Yeah, that's
Well,
a good
okay.
point.
So what are you looking at
I'm
specifically?
looking
What are
at
you
the magic
considering buying?
armor.
Okay.
Mm.
So magic armor is equipable by the boys, both of them, and it gives 25 defense.
Okay. What about
How
the
does that
dragon
compare
killer
to-
if I wanted to save up for that?
Let's see. The Dagron killer is
The Durgan killer.
only equipable by our main dude, of course.
Of
50
course.
attack.
How does that compare
Versus
to
the
Erdrick?
Sword of Erdrick, which is only 40 attack. Go figure.
Well, forget you, hero of decades past.
Yeah.
How much can we sell his sword for?
Well, hang on a second. Let me see if there's any practical reason to do it. Also, I think it only sells for 2.
Ah,
That's an interest. There's like several different mechanics of like why. Like sometimes they'll just say like, "Oh, you can't get rid of this. It's important."
Yeah.
And sometimes they're like, you can't, like, there's no in-game reason why someone wouldn't, like, buy this off of you, but we're just gonna make it, like, they're only gonna buy it off of you for 1 gold, so you won't do it.
Unless
But you
are
can
me
soft
at-
lock your game if you really want to.
Yeah, unless you are me at age 8 playing the Final Fantasy Legend.
what was that story again?
Yeah, the glass sword. I mean, what? It's gonna break, right? I mean, come on.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, selling.
Yeah. I'll get rid of it for 1 gold.
You see, but it was a mistranslation. It was actually the grass sword. Wait, no, that's not any
Oh.
better.
This is a fantastic menu. I'm glad we're still
I know.
looking at
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm just like
Do we
this,
want to just
not
let's
having
just go
any,
to the next town?
Yeah, not having any like way to
Yeah.
purchase herbs.
Just
etc.
reinforcing looking at this guide here.
Oh,
The Sword of Erdrick. This sword is not as powerful as it was in the first game, and you will eventually replace it with better weapons.
the little coastline has
Yeah.
is not looking so great. I wish the NES had S video, rather than just composite.
I love video.
Oh,
Oh, there's a little thing.
We've been here. Don't go there.
not going here.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Been
Recover
there.
your party member first. Stop exploring. Don't drag his corpse down the stairs. It's gross.
Listen,
is
if
a
this
threat.
was the Japanese
This is a threat
version,
to you
we'd be
monsters.
dragging his
Look what I did to this
casket.
guy. Look what I did to this guy. It'll happen to you too.
All right, I'm lost now. I
Did we
think
need to go-
keep...
Yeah, keep following the coast.
Okay.
Pay no attention to the very clear saber-tooth tiger attack marks on him. It was definitely me. I'm thinking about. Oh, I did look it up. So this game came out almost a year before Final Fantasy, according to the first page of Google results.
Yeah, that sounds right.
January 1987 versus December 1987.
Wow.
Assuming Google didn't decide to mix things up with Japanese and American release dates. I try to be very careful because you do not want to become internet on tape.
I thought
playthrough.
The original Final Fantasy North American release was closer to 1990, like not quite, like 89 maybe, but I could be making that up.
Where is the House of Healing in this place? Is there
Did
not
that,
one?
is that not it? Was that not it?
No,
No.
West Side.
Wait. Yeah, was that not the guy that you just
No,
talked to?
it wasn't. He said, when in need, visit the House of Healing.
This guy in the top left?
Yeah.
What?
Did you use his services too much? Were there limited uses?
Okay, well, we can at
used,
least. Can we buy a wing here at least?
No, we
to have
can't.
I don't
That's
think
the
so.
problem. You can't. All right, hang on.
But there's another town that's near here, and we would be able to live.
Repel.
Yeah, use repel. Yeah, and then walk to somewhere. It's not that far. Oh yeah, the music changed back to the previous music because the one person's dead. Ow.
Okay, not only did you take the long route around the swamp, you still walked through the swamp.
Okay, Wing of the Wyvern. GameCola can't carry
Yeah.
anymore. Yes.
But
Billy.
okay, but like you can.
Let's
You'll
revive the guy
here.
first, then
Yeah.
we'll worry about the details.
Yeah. When in need, visit the house.
This is the east side I was thinking of.
Yeah.
This is another thing that I think stayed through all the way to Golden Sun, where there's like a special guy that you go to that's like, and it's like you can cure poison, you can remove a curse, or you can revive your party member. And it's like, well, there's only one of these things that happens with any regularity. Everything else has an item for it.
Yep. Or a spell.
Or a spell. Yeah.
I would love a revival spell.
That's illegal.
So at that rate, however, now that we're back to normal, is it perhaps that time?
Yeah, I think
Dinner
it is.
time.
Yep, it's
That
time.
time
Repel has
again?
lost its
From the
effect.
oven.
Oh, brother. Well, this was... we got the Moon Crest.
We made
I was going to
progress,
say this was
yes.
not a productive episode, but you know what? We got the Moon Crest, and we discovered a couple future points of interest. So you know what? Positive thinking.
Yeah.
And we will do
And
more
Jetty made
positive
that really
thinking.
funny joke about a bed. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
A+ episode.
Yeah, honestly, many laughs were had. And that's what's important. So we will do more positive thinking in the next episode.
Don't have negative thoughts. Remember your mantra.
Remember your mantra.
Wrong game. Sorry.
Oh. I am free of injury because of the ointment.
Because of the ointment.
Sorry, you don't have enough golds.
Yeah, this is not enough golds. Man, like, games don't have the same phrasing that they used to.
Yeah.
For better and for worse.